Hey everyone, welcome to a lovely episode of Rise of Nyarlathotep. Today we're going to be dealing with storms, riding on spider horses, and me doing a lot of different voices, so let's see if my throat can keep up. But before we go into this fantastic tale, let's go around and say hello. As all the people around this table, I am Lucas. I will be your DM for the evening. My pronouns are he, him. Ian.
My name is Ian, my pronouns are he, they, and I play Weary, the artificer tiefling, who recently, developed some minor telekinetic abilities. Feats are fun, try them out. But yeah, we're just having a good time on the run from literally every random side group that we've been cutting back to over the course of our last few sessions. So that's been cool.
Meg.
There we go. Sorry, all the buttons. Hi, my name is Meg. My pronouns are she and they, and I am playing our favorite socially anxious goblin druid, Alora, who is very tired.
Jess.
Hi there, I'm Jess. My pronouns are she, her. I will be playing Glyph, the automata rogue, whose pronouns are they, them, and did not kill the party 2 sessions ago, so that's great. I will say, though, me in real life, it is very, very stormy where I am, and I may just disappear if our power goes out, because our house is really old, so that might happen.
Eve.
Hello, I'm Eve, and I am playing TK37, the Goblin Enhanced Super Soldier with Telekinesis, who is currently a weird blobby fish person. Yeah, that's about it. Both the pronouns are she, her.
Jason.
Hey, I'm Jason, and I'm playing Kratok, the simply superb Plumerian Bard. And before we get started, it's come to my attention that my cat familiar that I'm borrowing from across space and time is named Ducky now. So Twitch chat, let's give Ducky an honorific title. Be something like Lord Ducky or Ducky the Magnificent. But just throw something in there, and we'll take a look and figure out a good little title for Ducky.
Yeah, so everyone, put it in the chat while I do the recap and explaining stuff, and we will go through them. So just a few things before we start. We are doing a contest that all of you can enter. What? That's right, you, standing there in your ethereal realm. You too can enter this contest. All you have to do, go over to one of the many ballad social media platforms. We got Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Hop on over there. We have posts on Facebook and Instagram, and you could just add us on Twitter. But just tell us about one of your favorite NPCs for Rise of Nyarlathotep. Then you're automatically entered in. You can win a leather dice bag with the Cthulhu emblem on the front of it, as well as a streaming ticket to Critical Bits and Friends live show on August 14th. And the other prize is a 7-piece dice set, Ocean Reef from Easy Roller Dice, as well as a streaming ticket for Critical Bits live show on the 14th. So 2 fantastic sets of prizes. All you have to do is go on social media, tell us about your favorite NPC from this show, and then you are in. All right. The other piece of news we have is there's going to be another show going on, because I had a small window of free time and I crushed it. I crushed it with a show that is called The Lost Tower of Ambrosia, where we will have rotating casts. Anybody can apply. All you need is a microphone, webcam, and internet, pretty much, ability to record your stuff with free software. And then you come on in, and the game is all about basically these heroes or adventurers, random people coming into this tower, trying to survive it and find the secret of immortality. And there's going to be incredibly high PC death rates. So join us for the fun, the antics, the monsters, and the trauma as we just enjoy The Lost Tower of Ambrosia. That's on every second Monday at 7 p.m. CST, starting on the 2nd. All right. Oh, all the music and sound effects today from Sirenscape.com. And we are sponsored by Roll20 over there. So if you want to play online games with your friends, if you want to look at little cubes with your friends' faces moving in it, kind of like this, and you want to look at maps and draw pictures of cats and stuff like that, you head on over to Roll20, create a free account, and get that game rolling. It's got digital dice, it's got it all. You don't need anything except for your physiological brain compartments. You hop right in there and make up your games. Alrighty, let's look at some. Oh, there's a number of these. So we have Deacon, Dr. Professor Ducky. We have Duke Ducky, the Duchy of Quack. I like it. Ducky Tales. Nice. The world is Ducky's oyster. This is true. Dr. Ducky, Marquise Ducky, Captain Ducky, Sir Albert Ducky, and Alberto Duckford. So, Jason, which of these do you like?
Albert Ducky the third. You got to include the third.
Oh, I thought those were exclamation marks. Sorry.
I'm just really curious where Albert came from.
Just came on in.
I kind of like Duke Ducky of the Duchy of Quack because we're working on, like, you know how Lucas has the quintuple D? We could keep working on that title and get the sextuple D, maybe.
I like it.
A heck of a title.
That's for some damn fine doctor work.
I just love the alliterations.
All right, so this cat officially has a very long name. Duke Ducky of the Duchy of Quack. We'll see how many D's we get in there. All right, so just a recap of what happened last time, because it's been 7 days. Last time, our heroes were getting out of Dodge. They were trying to leave this cybernetic forest, as the mask had completely transformed this section of the forest into machines. After ripping out of there and trying to make your way to Greenest as fast as possible, which is going to be around 5 days or so of riding, you saw that there was a giant airship that was coming after you. Turns out, manned by Lady Bywood, you all worked together with the power of teamwork, friendship, and violence. You brought down that airship, and you killed the slimy intern. Unfortunately, they were probably turned into a zombie or something. You made your way to Booings, where nobody knows your name, got a room, had a sleep where you didn't have nightmares. It's going pretty good. Kratok's cat, turns out they're 400 years old, they can chat, and they're very chatty. And you also were visited by the trio, the Bane Troll Zeratul. You were also visited by, there's Bonesaw outside and Chip. They were staying in the room next to you and had no idea you're there. They still don't, as they thought they were talking to Bernard, who Weary was dressed up as. TK became an anglerfish-like person, and you all jumped out of a second-story window into the rain, let the opponent's horses go free, and you rode off. So that is where we are. But where the camera takes us, quickly ripping through over to this forest, we see this orc woman rip through this foliage. She is tattered. Her clothes, her armor, everything is ripped up. The emblem of the wardens is on her side. You see that she has a sword in one hand and a Magitech pistol in the other. Her one eye is swollen. There are cuts on her face as she's running forward, breathing heavy. She looks back, and rushing out through the foliage behind her is this 7-foot-tall, cybernetic, hulking goblinoid creature that is just running in like this gorilla-like run as it is just barreling towards her. Greta turns around and then swings a sword. It cuts a rope, and this log comes swinging out, and the creature just grabs it with one hand and rips it off the tree. Greta then dives and yells, "Horse person, now!" This net shoots out of the trees, hitting on to this cybernetic blork. And Greta turns around with her pistol, aiming it right at a little device on the net. And she brings up the scope and says, "Go blork yourself, asshole," and fires the gun. It hits the little device. It gets charged up, and electricity shoots right through this hulking blork as they collapse down onto the ground. Greta falls back, laying there in the mud as horse person comes stumbling out. They have their this little walrus person. They have their face painted with mud. Their parka is torn up. They have this strange cannon that looks like it's been put together by so many different pieces, and they just plop down beside Greta. They look over and say, "So what do we do now?" And Greta, exhausted, turns towards her horse person. "We have to go find those randos." And back to the randos. Camera rips up, goes through the forest, leaves this cybernetic wonderland. We go across a river, we go past buoys into a storm, and then we see these 5 spider horses are ripping through. We have TK, who's an anglerfish, just bouncing along on a spider horse. We have Kratok, who's getting a very unnerving feeling as your tongue has started to grow back. And the cat is looking very disappointed at you as it's getting soaked in the rain. We have Glyph, who is looking better than before, not as completely damaged, and dressed up as a lumberjack. And we have Alora, who is riding alongside Weary as they're looking at each other, looking back at the inn, and you see these hulking spider horses that the other 3 had just riding off into the distant storm. So you 5 have quite a ride ahead of you. If we look at our map that we have here, bring it over here for myself. So you all were just outside of Elusio, not very far away from it. You ripped across here, and you managed to stay at Booing, so it was just on this side of the river. You now have departed, and you've made it across the river, but it's probably going to take about another 3 or 4 days of getting to Greenest, because you can't just keep pushing the spider horses, because they will die. These majestic, beautiful creatures do need their beauty sleep. But what I need from everyone is a handle animal check.
It's going to be a 19.
Glyph got a 10.
Surprisingly, an 18.
Hey.
I got a 14.
That'll be a 4.
So it turns out it's very hard to ride a spider horse as an anglerfish person. And
Very round. It is kind of like more of a triangular shaped body on the back of a spider horse, so it is not easy to balance.
And so you're kind of like bouncing along, but your slimy fish skin is getting more slimy from the rain.
Yeah, it's raining. Yeah, like I feel good, but it's not making it easy.
So it feels good on your skin, but you're slipping on these reins. And so all of you are having to slow down to keep helping out TK, as well as a Glyph does seem to be having issues every now and then, starting to like heavily lean, and you have to fix like prop TK back up as their joints are just feeling rough after transforming into a giant 20-foot tall monstrosity from r/I'm sorry, John. But your ride is going well, other than that. And you don't seem to be encountering anyone on the road, which is a little odd. You were on the road for a bit before, because I believe you all said that you're just cutting through the greenery, right? You're just getting off the road. Thankfully, these horses have a lot of legs, so it is a lot easier for them to go off-roading. But the rain doesn't seem to be letting up much. And when you finally are able to make camp, you are all just so wiped out. The rain just lets up just for a little bit. It's still drizzling. The ground is soaked, but you manage to get just a quiet place to sit for a few minutes. I'm being told that Jason, Meg, and Ian are a little bit quiet. I don't know. If you want to bring your mics a little bit closer, maybe, or something. I'm not sure. I'll try adding a booster that make you a little bit louder.
Hello?
There you go.
Is this good? Then you can just actually have it in the frame.
Testing. Am I dying? Am I loud enough?
Okay, seems good. All right,
Okay.
and I added a booster, so it should boost it up by a little bit.
Okay. It's like,
Nice.
I'd rather not just like eat my mic.
There. Okay, so you all have a moment to rest, take a breather, and you've set up camp. Is there anything you would like to do?
Well, everyone else can go first.
Real quick, how long does this fish person thing last?
That's all you, Weary. I'm not sure.
My bad. My brain just blanked out. I heard how long does blank last, and I did not fill in the blank.
The
Being a
fish
fish
Oh,
person.
person.
sorry. Yeah, it
The
lasts for like.
fishiness.
Let's see. How long does an alter self spell last? It's not a spell I normally have access to. I just get it from my potion. I think it lasts. Short answer would be an hour. Yeah, it's an hour.
Okay.
So no longer a fish people.
Yeah, you unfish.
Well, now I don't like being soggy.
Mm.
Not as fun.
PK's just sitting there, just sitting on the ground looking miserable.
I think after a little bit, Weary lets the disguise drop and goes over to sit by TK. So, those were some of the people hunting you, yes?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. We definitely dodged a bad thing there.
Yes. Yes, we did. The
like
person
this-
talking to us
Yeah.
that you talked to,
Yeah, through the door.
like, crush you with one hand.
Noted. Sorry, this feels weird. And Weary lets the disguise of Bernard drop, so that they just look like normal Weary. Oh, that's much better. That voice is basically impossible. I'm glad we're all safe. Even if it meant we only got to stop for a little bit. At least we got some rest.
We aren't safe.
I figured that's probably true, but for now, we have time to breathe.
No, we don't. If we could keep moving, I would keep moving.
You're probably right. We can't just keep burning the candle at both ends.
We do need to stop, because if we do keep just going, we're more likely to make mistakes. And that's like, as I'm like walking towards y'all while I'm petting Ducky.
Mm.
This is my cat now. Sorry, Jason. It's just like Pesca. I just kind of.
It's my pet
Paul just
now.
looks at
This
you
is
both
mine.
very annoyed.
Oh, is Kratok still cursed? With
No,
the silence?
Kratok has his tongue back, and it was
Okay, that's
the
good.
worst feeling in the world. Also, you didn't realize because it's a new tongue, so you didn't realize like your breath, right? No one really realizes how bad their breath is, but when you got a brand new tongue and brand new taste buds, that's some morning breath you got going on.
The taste of breath.
Oh no.
Everyone make me perception checks.
That's a nat 1 for an 8.
That's a cool 6.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
16.
Got a 4.
I also got a 6.
So TK, you notice the bushes behind Alora are rustling.
Just immediately flip around or pull out my dagger spear and launch it.
All right,
Right
roll
at
it.
the rustling.
I'm gonna like move out of the way. What was that for?
15.
So you hurl this spear and just like, yeah, you feel the wind whip by and you hear it sink into the ground and the rustling has stopped.
Something's in there.
What do you mean something is in here?
In the bush.
Yeah, what do you mean? I didn't hear anything.
Sounds like a personal problem. I'm telling you something's in the bush.
I'm gonna go ahead.
Oh, okay. And I'll like take my staff and just kind of like whack-a-mole it.
Yeah.
You hit the bush a few times and then you just watch as this just a fairly large ear mouse just like runs away, and just this large ear is just like, you can hear this as the ear is like hitting its back, and it's a human ear too, right? So like it's running away.
I regret making those.
You gave me them.
I did.
Uncannon those right now.
Can't. Yeah. Glyph with that natural one is standing a little ways away brushing the spider horses. Missed all of that.
Mm.
Didn't even turn around.
Duke Ducky of, I'm gonna forget this name 100 times. Duke Ducky of the Duchy of Quack. It like shakes and like hair is like poofy and wet and miserable, and looks over and it's like doing this like while you're holding on to it.
Talk looks over and speaking again for the first time and says, "See, now you know how it feels."
Just glares at you.
Wait. I can
Do
speak
you
again.
want to go get the do you want to go get the ear mouse?
Yeah, they'll go.
I'm still technically holding on to the cat too, so like
Yeah,
whack-a-mole with the cat.
So instead of like, looking at you or nodding or anything that you would appreciate, the cat instead just immediately claws and bites at you and jumps out of your arms, because that's what cats do, and just rushes off after the ear mouse. Oh, to be young again. So do you all
I
just...
propose that we all take a nap, at least.
Let's take shifts so that we're not exposed. But yeah, we should.
Okay.
So for the purposes of rest, we got like, how much of a night's sleep did we get when we were at the bar where nobody knows your name?
We got a full night at the
You got a
end.
full night, yeah.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, you tried to only take like 4 hours to keep moving, but your body said no, and you just kept sleeping.
That tracks. Perfect.
So the night goes by pretty uneventful. Ducky arrives again, Duke Ducky, and there's just blood all over their mouth, and you can see like in they're kind of like trying to lick, but there's no tongue there, and they're looking really frustrated as they're like trying to clean the blood off their face. And so the night passes by. You all wake up. You're cold, sore. Your spider horses look a little bit miserable. You brush them off. All have some rations. We don't keep track of that stuff here. And then you're on your way again. Everyone give me a handle animal.
Yeah. What time did we rest? Because we left the inn at like midnight. How long did we travel? I was trying to think where we are.
Well, you left the inn at a pretty good time. Like I'd say it was more like around lunchtime is when you left the inn.
Okay.
So you all traveled for quite a while, like at least 8 hours or so before you had to stop.
Okay. My handle animal was 16.
Mine was
Yeah,
also
7.
16.
Yeah, I got 7.
19.
Talk.
Wait, what happened? Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
I got a 10.
All right. So this time it's Kratok who's having a little bit of difficulties. Well, you have to keep stopping and helping TK. And TK, you keep seeing things moving in the bushes, and it's driving you nuts. Like every so often you come by the bush and you're like swinging your spear at them because you're like, there's something in there. Or you blast a branch that you think you saw something moving on, and it clatters down to the ground and
Getting
there's nothing
followed.
on
I
it.
know it.
And you don't know what it is, but you have the feeling that you're being followed. It's just on your mind. The next 2 days are fairly uneventful while you're going along. There's no more rain, thankfully, and you're just cruising, so the ground dries up pretty quick, and you're not being followed, at least obviously, by anything. You don't see a giant blimp in the sky. You haven't encountered anyone else in spider horses. You've been avoiding the main road almost the entire way. You have every so often had to like go back on the main road. Maybe you encountered like a bit of a bog. Maybe you encountered like wetlands, that kind of thing. And so you've had to go back to the main road. But for the most part, you have been cruising very clean across. You're coming up to Greenest. You're maybe about a day's travel away. And this is your last time camping before you get there.
Okay. Real quick, since our trip has been uneventful, can we rewind real quick back to that not the first day, but just then when you said TK was seeing stuff in bushes and hitting them with the stick?
Sure.
Because I need to do something real quick.
Yeah.
Because Glyph, back in the boss fight with Megaglyph, was slapped with a calming patch that lasts 24 hours. And Glyph did not know that's what had happened. So this past day, yeah, they were hurt and we were all hurt and tired, but Glyph's been really quiet and just kind of there, not really participating much, not really doing much. When Weary was healing them, they just kind of let them. They just kind of held their arms out and let them. They weren't really participating. And they just slept through the whole night, and as we're riding, like you said, they were having issues because they keep just stop moving and sliding off the horse. And as they're riding, and the 24 hours passes, and the patch wears off, all of their emotions come back at once, and they feel terrible. And essentially, it's everything that they had been feeling had been turned off, and it's suddenly all turned on full blast. And they literally just like stop for a second and they fall off their horse into the mud.
Something got Cliff. I told you, we're being followed.
Wait, the patch. The calming patch. I put it on because I thought it would help against the monster, the mega glyph. It probably wore off. It's been. Oh no. I don't think it. Yeah, I think the emotions got glyph, not. Where it looks around just in case.
You don't see anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, Glyph is like in the mud on like their hands and knees. And they just kind of, that first night y'all met them when they had that horrible nightmare and they'd never had a nightmare before, they make that sound again.
Something's happening.
It's almost like what those eye drops did to me.
Glyph, honey, are you okay?
Oh no, I'm sick. Oh, I don't feel good. Oh, something's wrong. Why?
How does an
Automata
automata get sick?
Yeah, what?
Oh, I don't know.
Been
Everything.
poisoned.
Oh. No, stop. Where's my face? Where's my face? And I realize I'm not wearing a mask. And I think the only person who got a real good look at Glyph's nasty face was Weary and Eve. But they're just like covering their face. And then they kind of stop for a second and they look up. And are you still on your horse, Eve, TK?
TK is not.
Okay. So if you're walking up, they turn around and they kind of scramble away from you and they point. Why were you on the airship?
Why were you on the airship?
I don't remember. I wasn't on the airship. Why were you on the airship? Why were you working for Bywood and Bywood?
You were working for Bywood and Bywood.
No.
I was a contractor.
They called you Chambers.
That is my name. Why did I speak to you? I wouldn't have spoken to you. Why did I speak to you on the airship? What? Where are we?
That was weird, right? That was very weird because it felt like a memory, but at the same time it felt like I had control, right?
Oh, I spoke to her.
So it was. Things changed in the memory, though, right?
I wouldn't have spoken to you, and I wouldn't have spoken to her like that.
But the memory changed. It reacted. Did we change time?
There was someone else there. I thought for a moment I saw. But that's impossible.
With the clock.
He didn't have a clock. But it is impossible.
He wasn't there. I remember that. And that he wasn't there, though, right? He wasn't supposed to be there.
Why are there leaves in my... And I still had like mud and leaves deep in my like situation, and I pull some of them out. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm feeling very emotional. How did Lady Bywood find us?
You kind of shot a laser into the sky.
Yeah, it was a big old light. Everyone found us.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, the sky's still a little red from that.
I put on the mask.
Which
No,
one?
do not put on the mask.
No, I did. Didn't I?
Oh, we're aware. Yes.
Is that what happened?
I thought you were going to put on the mask and you were just announcing it.
Never
and I got
again.
scared. Okay.
I'm still disappointed about that.
Yeah.
That was a mistake. I have been wearing that mask my entire life. I suppose that I remember it has never done anything to me. I didn't think it would. I thought I was immune. I was wrong. Excuse me. And Glyph walks away just a few steps and like pulls up their like lumberjack collar coat and just like yells into it like a normal yell for a second. And then just yells in it too for a long time, and then it's like, okay, we are in an exceeding amount of danger.
Yep.
I agree. That's why I'm saying we have to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
We do.
Also, we are definitely getting followed right now. Okay, looks at the trees with suspicion.
I do need to say I am very sorry that happened. I cannot express how much that I did not mean for that to happen.
Yeah, all forgiven. We really do gotta go, though.
Oh.
Can I cast Detect Magic like while they're rambling?
Yes, you can.
Cool.
Don't get me wrong, we definitely have to talk about this later. But like for right now, we have to go.
Wait, I have an idea. Would it be a bad idea if we took a slightly roundabout way to Greenest? I think we might be able to throw them off our trail.
I think that would be a bad idea because if they keep going towards Greenest, they'll get there first.
They already had a 3-day start, and I have greatly delayed us.
So we're kind of going like east, southeast right now, kind of.
Yeah, I'll show you on the map.
So,
Kritok, you were like cutting down through here, and that's kind of the current trajectory.
Okay. So Kritok is going to use his prestidigitation to sort of like make a set of tracks in the ground that leads like more north. In the hopes of throwing them off. And he just kind of like walks back a little ways and kind of tries to make it look like a diversion.
I'd say roll either an Arcana or Deception. Whichever you'd like to do. I like that idea.
Do I see any magic around us or near us?
Yes. So you are looking around. You cast Detect Magic. You do see the auras that are coming off of each individual. You hear or you see the magic that is going around Weary. You see like the scabbard and hilt particularly are emanating like very powerful magic. But it's weird. It's not a color that's within the range of magic that you're used to. It seems
dark.
Yeah, dark is the best way to put it. Not empty. So it's different. It's like when you're looking at pure darkness, you know there's stuff in there, but you just can't see it. And that's what it's like. It's just this emanating from Weary's side. And you're looking around, you see magic coming from everyone. You see from Ducky, there is conjuration magic that's going around them. And you do see one thing. Roll me a perception.
I got a 14.
So you do see that there is a bit of... there's traces of illusion magic that is in the woods near where TK recently hit a bush.
There's something over in that same area that you were saying, TK, but we saw the ear mouse. I don't imagine that there would be anything else there. Do you want to come with me and check?
Yes, that's what I've been saying.
Well, you wanted to leave.
Well, if we can kill whatever's following us, then I don't know, we could spare a couple of seconds.
Okay, then let's do that then. That way we don't have to worry about it later.
Can I just use deception, by the way?
Nice.
Can I just use some telekinesis to just rip out that bush?
Hell yeah. You just rip out that bush, and nothing comes out of there. You pull it out, you shake it, you don't see anything. Like, you're all standing a bit away from there. You see like dirt clumps flying. The bush itself goes flying a couple meters, and you don't notice anything that seems out of the ordinary at the very least.
Maybe it's a little further away, or maybe it's underground.
The Arcanium is full of strange creatures. It could be something we haven't encountered yet.
True. And I'll
Oh.
cast Mold Earth to kind of just like sift through it all, kind of thing.
So you start sifting through with mold earth. You all watch as the earth just sort of like ripples and becomes almost like putty. As you start feeling around, you're using just like this extra sense, and it's pretty normal as you're going, and then you hit something that doesn't feel right. It's very squishy, and when you push the earth down towards it, it squishes and it's quickly moving away from you. It quickly.
I'll just keep like trailing with the dirt to try and like keep up with it.
Yeah, you make that classic like cartoon molehill kind of thing, like as it's like making the trail as you're following it, and you hit your range as you can tell that whatever it is, it's gone.
Well, I know it went that way.
It looks to be the direction that you're going.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess we just keep going where we were going. But it definitely was underground. I could feel it. I could sense it.
I guess it's time to make a mountain out of a molehill.
I'm not crazy.
I'm gonna bap Kotak over the head.
I'm perfectly sane.
Well, okay then. TK, do you have anything that could maybe help with this, or do we just want to like keep trucking and see what'll happen?
I got a stick, and I don't know how well I could project my brain into smashing the ground.
Ooh.
Okay.
I
Well,
might,
let's
I
save
might
that
have
energy.
something.
Oh, okay.
So I was looking over the ingredients to prepare for today's journey, and I remembered, and Weary takes out, well, their initial set of 50 feet of rope has been destroyed from fighting Megaglyph, but I do have another set of 50-foot rope that's made of silk. So I take out that, and I just go, I've developed like a sort of powder agent that I put on this rope, and I can basically create a little trap, a snare. So I figured if we do that, we might be able to kind of open it up for us, and basically we like whatever's near us, it might trip the snare, and then we'll catch it.
Fresh.
Wouldn't that
Right.
involve us waiting for it to enter the snare?
Well, next time we stop, right? I can set one up.
Since I'm sure it'll still be following us, I'm sure that might work.
Yes.
Okay, well, tally ho then, I guess. Let's go ahead and keep going.
All right.
And you're off. So you're riding once more towards Greenest. You've gone through a bit of emotional trauma. You're processing a lot. You're worried a lot, and you are just cutting across the countryside. The countryside of the Arcanium it's not ideal, but it's not that bad. You can tell that a lot of it has been very shaped by magic over the centuries. People have been going through here trying to make this into the land that they want. You could tell that they're trying to make it more into plains, whereas it clearly was maybe more of a swamp or a bit of like wetlands. Every so often you're coming across these large patches of wetlands. You're seeing these hippo ox come out of the water, these massive lumbering creatures as they shake off all their fur, and they have these two massive horns that are sticking up, and they just watch you as you go on by. And so you're winding your way through this environment, and you are once more, so we're at that point where you're at about a day's away from Greenest, and you're camping for the night. Weary, you set up the snare on the first night without much success, but I imagine you're probably going to try to set it up again, right?
Yeah. Basically, I'll try to find look, and I'll probably need somebody who's good with like woodcraft type things. But basically, I'll look for natural entryways into our campsite, like places that it would be natural to approach from, and try to set one up there before I go to bed.
All right. Someone wants to roll me a nature or survival. They can help Weary with that.
Got you.
And I can only do it twice because it consumes the rope, and I only have 50 feet of rope, and it's 25 per casting. So I need to buy some more rope when we stop at a town.
TK's got rope.
Nice.
Liv has been endeavoring even more so than usual to be helpful. And I got an 18 survival to also help.
What did you get, Meg? Did you get 1?
Yeah.
All right, so we're balancing
But
the
it was
books.
+4, so meh.
So, Glyph, you're trying to help out. Alora's going, no, 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 no. Over here is the proper place. So it's a bit of back and forth as Weary, you're setting it up. So more or less you're getting like an average as Glyph got quite high and Alora got quite low. So you are setting up this trap, and it looks like it's at a pretty good area. You cover it up, make sure that nothing can see it very easily.
It's magically imbued, so it becomes invisible. I don't actually have to
Oh,
do
hell
much
yeah.
work.
Okay, so you set it down and then bam. So this you watch as it goes invisible, and you settle down with everyone for the night. Okay, who are all the people taking watch? 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I want you 3 to give me perception checks.
19.
Okay.
I got a 13.
That would be a 22. TK's paranoid and actually rolling high for the first time in forever.
So you're all keeping watch for the night. Weary, your watch is first. You don't see anything happening. Glyph, you're watching second. Alora, you are getting taken into these strange dreams. It feels kind of like a little bit like a fever dream. You keep coming back. It's the same thing. You keep seeing it again and again. You see this massive tree growing out of the side of a mountain. It reaches up towards the clouds, and it almost dwarfs the mountain itself. And you see on one side of the mountain, it's a great desert, and on one side of the mountain, it's this lush forest, this valley that this fog rolls over. And you watch as these gray-robed figures are going to this massive tree, and you watch as the tree is slowly withering and dying. The leaves are blowing off of it. The bark on it is starting to go a bit gray. And each time, you feel yourself jolt awake. And as you jolt awake, you are looking around in the middle of the night, and make me a Constitution saving throw.
$13.
All right, 13.
That took you way too long to reply. I'm scared now.
I just have to see the effects here. Okay. You feel it first in your feet. It's like a tingling. And it's kind of almost numbing. And you kind of feel your fingers tingling a little bit as well. And you smell this putrid smell that is just it's coming into your nostrils, and you hear this voice, and it's a familiar one. You hear,
I found you. There you are. Finally. This will let me grow.
and I need you to make me another Constitution saving throw as you're watching this black ooze drip onto your face. Six. You feel your body just go rigid. And as you see the slime, it's starting to just drip down onto, and everywhere it's dripping, you're going numb. And you're trying to move your body, you're trying to yell for help. The most you can get is as you're trying to say something, you watch as these two skulls are they're like half rotted and they move together and form this large head, and you hear it speak to you.
All these people around you are so pesky. Can't they tell that all I want to do is have something to eat? Us godlings have a natural order of things.
And TK, you can make your attack as you heard this.
Oh, yep. I'm just launching myself with that chainsaw. I wanna make this hurt. It's lighting up on fire just as it's coming in. Not the best roll, but it's not terrible. So yeah, that'll be a 17.
All right, roll your damage. Make sure I'm not on the ooze voice.
+4. Okay, so that would be 11. That will be 21.
Damn, nice.
Yeah.
So you, Alora, are watching as this ooze is dripping onto you. This skull is like slowly opening up. The lower jaw disconnects as it's moving towards your face. And suddenly this small goblin lady comes hurling out with this spear and just slams into the side of this skull, bringing it down. You rip the skull out of the ooze, and the ooze like pulls away. And everyone, you can make me... no, you'd wake up from this. Everyone, you're kind of like groggily... Oh,
Yeah,
you're
we
using the
hear the
chainsaw?
chainsaw.
Never mind, you're all
Yes.
awake. Because it's just like... I thought it was the spear.
If there's one thing that'll wake us all up, it's the sound of chainsaws in the night.
I don't know, it's quite relaxing. So this chainsaw, you rev it, the flames erupt, and so what actually happens is TK comes over, and it's just a scene from a horror movie. It's like, you're bringing it down, the skull is getting sawed in half, the creature is roaring out in pain as this ooze is flying out everywhere, and it coils away from you, and I need everyone to give me initiative.
Thank God.
I got an 8.
You got a dirty 20.
I got a 21.
That'd be a 9.
All right.
I also got a 21. I don't know if I count in that, but I'm here. But I will willingly go last since I'm kind of sleep paralysis.
Okay. Weary, what'd you get?
21.
Glyph?
20.
We're gonna 21. Kritok?
8.
All right. Rad. We got some high initiatives. So Laura, you are suffering from the wonderful effects of paralysis from this black ooze, this pudding. And we go to Weary. So Weary, you are woken up from the gentle hums of a roaring chainsaw, fire, and what you've never thought you'd hear before, an ooze screaming.
Lucas, can we check the volume just a smidge on that music? Because it's
yeah.
doing its usual bah! In the middle of it. So.
Very fun.
How's that?
Yeah, that's better. So yeah, Weary like gets up with a start, and like freaks out a little bit, kind of like focuses up, tries to get bearings, and then sees like fire of chainsaw lighting up the silhouette of the ooze. And I go, oh, that's the thing that was following. Is that the thing that was following us? Do we think that's... It looks evil. I'm just gonna... And Weary takes out their arm, which before had like the sort of spiraling plant tattoo, and it's now been changed, and it's like a chainsaw sword with like a little targeting reticule at the end, because since the last night's travel, Weary has adjusted their infusions and done the spell rot one, which gives 1 first level spell, and is going to cast Hunter's Mark on the ooze so that we don't lose track of it.
Oh, nice.
And once I do that, I'm going to run over and remind me if the Screamy Buddy, it ends fear effects and What else?
Emotional effects, so like calm
Okay, so
emotions,
not-
charm person,
yeah.
that kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess full body paralysis isn't an emotion.
Yeah, I mean, some people might think so, but not here.
Alas. So I think Weary instead, having used bonus action to kind of, I imagine like the little targeting reticule kind of like leaves Weary's hand like a little magical burst, and now is like kind of surrounding the creature. So it's got a little mark on it so that Weary can find it later. And then Weary pulls out a jar, gives it a shake, and throws it. And this is a jar with a ray of sick. Wait, it's an ooze. Oozes probably don't care about poison, huh? I am useless today. Instead, Weary will take out. Ooh, that'll be fun. Is the creature close to the snare?
High or low?
Low.
No, not at the moment.
All right.
It's
so
not
here's what
too
I'm
far
gonna
away
do.
from it, though. It's just not super close.
Yeah. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have Weary. Gonna deeply regret this, but Weary is going to run forward and use the attack action to grapple the
Ooh.
ooze to try to like hold on to it and then slowly drag it to the snare.
Okay, definitely do that. Plus, roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Very cool. I'm going to live to regret this, I'm sure. So that's going to be in athletics. Because I set up my tattoo, I did not, and I set up Pesca, I did not set up my strength armor, but I rolled an 18
Okay.
for my strength, for my athletics to grapple, and then for my con save, I get an okay bonus, but that doesn't help when I roll a 2. So I'm going to use one of my inspirations from the pot
Okay.
to turn that 2 into a dirty 18.
So, you dunk your arms into this ooze, and it's gross. I mean, there's really nothing else you could say about the ooze. It feels gross. It's all over you. Your clothes are like quickly turning black. You feel the tingling go up your arms, but you manage to resist it. And then you have your arms in this ooze. Your legs are kind of in it. You're trying to pull it. There are bits of people all up in this ooze. So like you're getting bones and stuff, and like you're trying to find a hold. And before you know it, though, the ooze has the hold on you.
Oh no!
As I have rolled a natural 20.
Oh, that's very good. Yeah, no, that's fine.
So you're watching
we'll
the ooze. It's basically like Weary is putting on the ooze suit. And
oh no, that's the opposite of what I wanted.
It's trying to turn. It will be a contest, but basically, it's trying to use Weary as the shield.
Oh, okay, very cool. Not my brightest plan, but Weary just woke up, so that's fine.
You know what happens? Glyph.
Yeah.
So we woke up to the roaring of chainsaws, horrible ooze monster. Weary just essentially dove into it. Hold on. I am pretty sure if you're stuck in the ooze, I don't need to be throwing daggers at it. That sounds dangerous.
You can push me. Actually, if we're attached, right, you can push me into the snare.
Well, I was either going to pull you out or push you into the snare.
Right.
Do I know where the snare is?
I would have told
I helped
everybody.
set it up.
Yeah, I
you
would
helped
have told
set it up, so
everybody
you
where
know.
it was.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see where you were going with your thought process, and I'll say loudly, Weary, that was foolish. But I will I don't know what this would be because it's already grappled, but I would push them both into the snare.
It's a magical snare, so it's not like it'll slip on out. It'll get
magic.
caught, hopefully.
What you can do? I don't really have bull rush in this one, do they? I guess it'd just be an opposed athletics check. You're trying to push them, so.
Okay. Big money. Okay. That's 17.
A 17 is a miss.
Ooh.
You rush forward to this ooze, and you kick at it, as I just kicked my desk and I really hurt my pinky toe. And you you kick at this ooze, you hit Weary in the gut, And so Weary, like it doesn't really hurt a whole lot. It's just like kind of wind knocked out of you as you kind of double over a bit. And the ooze, like at that last moment, like kind of like moved around to reinforce Weary. And like you saw these tendrils of ooze like almost create like a prop at the back. So to give Weary this extra support. And then you kicked Weary just in the gut and Weary just doubles over.
Okay.
And
Not my best plan. I'm really sorry.
it goes from Weary, it goes from Glyph kicking Weary in the stomach to the ooze. So Weary, make me another athletics check. And that'll be on your turn.
I got a 10.
So did I.
Oh,
Mhm.
what happens now?
So you and the ooze are fighting. You are the defender. So
Okay.
what happens is we just hear a sound as we have
Okay.
Weary just stumble forward, close, like in a very gothic phase now,
Oh.
as you just like hit onto the ground and roll away. Your stomach still kind of hurts, and this ooze had like a weary shape in it as it's slowly coming back. And now it's like this, it's this large pool of ooze that's coming up with like a bulbous circle for where the head is. And these tendrils are like lifting off of it. It's looking over at Alora.
You are the hardest snack I have ever tried to have. Just accept your fate.
And it is going to launch itself at Alora.
Great.
Not with that roll. So this ooze comes down, but there is a robot trying to kick it. There's a goblin swinging a flaming chainsaw. There's just a lot going on. And so the ooze is trying to avoid all this, and it slams, and you watch the ground as it kind of dissolves and melts a bit near you as it lifts itself back up. And it goes from the ooze to TK.
All right. I feel like it would be important to remind Weary that they have telekinesis now, and part of that is to push it with your brain, be able to push things with your brain.
Okay.
Like that's very specifically in the feat.
I think it's a bonus action, and also I forgot.
That's fair.
Yeah,
You had a lot
it's
going on.
very specifically in the feet. And then,
Oh, it really
then you
is.
jumped into the ooze. It very much confused me because I'm like, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to push the ooze into the snare. And then Weary says, I'm going to push the ooze into the snare. I'm like, okay, great. Well, it's not right next to the snare, so Weary mind pushes it. And then I put it
It was
home.
like 100% that was the plan. I actually forgot that was part of the feat. I just remembered the cool mage hand.
That you jumped into the ooze.
Yeah, well, I'm out of it now.
I have a news, baby.
Yes. All right, so yeah, I'm going to use thrust to try and knock it back.
All right, give me a roll.
It needs to make a DC 15 strength check.
You got it. Nat 1, baby.
There we go. Yeah, I want to just huck it right into that snare.
Do you have a Die Hard one-liner?
TK is sitting there with the chainsaw. She's looking real cool. She throws her arm out. Then she's like, take that.
Wait, what?
And then it just gets
Very
blasted
confused right
back. This ooze just goes flying. And as Shell said in the chat, you hit something hard enough, it'll become a solid. And so this ooze goes sailing backwards into the snare. What check does it have to make?
It is a dex saving throw, which hopefully oozes are not very dexterous, but I've been wrong before.
I've got a 13.
Ah, so it failed. It has to beat a 14.
Well then.
Let me
You
read up on
activated my
snare, but I
trap card.
believe Yeah, it is magically hoisted 3 feet into the air upside down. And it is restrained until the spell ends, which it has a duration of 8 hours. It could try to break out, but right now we do have it caught.
We have hoisted the ooze.
Yeah.
So the ooze is still struggling, but it's kind of understood what's going on. And now it's just kind of like every so often it's twitching, but we're out of initiative now.
Glyph's checking on Alora, making sure they're okay. Alora, did it hurt you?
Yeah, that's gonna be a bit.
Your voice is so...
Guess Alora has to eat me. That's fair. Rules are rules. Dine away, Alora.
And that is what the ooze is saying.
I didn't realize you were supposed to be the ooze. I thought it was Lucas and just forgot. I was like, wait a second.
Wait, Alora, do you really have to eat this thing?
Well, remember the spider person we saved the last time and all that? One of the guys that was there told me about the godling chain of power kind of thing, and it's kind of eat or be eaten if you're a godling, apparently.
Yeah.
I've been to some inns where they charge you more if you don't finish your meal, but this is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm not pro cannibalism. I'd rather not eat you.
I don't
I
think
wouldn't mind
this
gaining
could
some
count.
extra power, but I really don't want to eat you. Do I have to?
I mean, I just leave.
Yeah, but you'll just come back and try to eat her again.
Well, not right away.
Yeah, you'll just wait until our guard is down.
I'll give you like 3 weeks. 4 weeks. That's pretty good. Have you ever
We're
not
like
eaten for
holding
4
back
weeks?
full anger just off the fact that this thing ruined Weary's clothes, which is like the last nice thing Weary still had from home.
All right. I say we just either you eat them or I guess drink it. Find a straw.
Could you go in and I go and I find like one of my really big like mason jar, kind of like a sugar jar kind of thing. Would you fit in this? Maybe I don't want to kill you, but if there's a way that maybe I could get your powers a different way, I'd rather do that. I don't want to take your life.
No, you can't just get my powers by putting me in a super rad jar. As fun as that is. You gotta bon appetit. You gotta sit down and have yourself a spoonful of black pudding. I'm the ooze. You know, this is what happens. I was gonna eat you, and it was gonna be amazing. Super close to demigodhood, but here we are, and you know what? It's fine. I've heard so many people tell me, hey, don't eat me, and I eat them. I'm like, I get it.
Pretty please?
Oh.
And can I use persuasion? Can I do a persuasion roll?
Yeah, you could try.
I'm like begging with desperation that he just get in the damn jar. For a 19 plus I have a reduced window, give me a second, +1, so dirty 20. Please, pretty please, pretty please, pretty please. I don't want to hurt you. You really didn't even hurt me. You just kind of made everything go numb.
I don't know how you're gonna make it in the godling world. Okay. I'm gonna hang out in this jar, like oozes do. And you're gonna let me go at like a park or something? Kind of like you got a pest in your house? I'll leave for a bit.
Maybe I'll see. What do you? Okay, well, besides humans or sentient flesh beings, what do you like to eat? Like, what's your favorite snack?
God, halflings. It's just the best. I ate one that was basically like a walking humanoid pile of trash. I've never had something that good. There was another one. It was like a large rock troll ate that one. Oh, there was one like two years ago up in the Foundry of Steel. It was it was the CEO. They were working on this business plan. I ate them in the middle of their boardroom meeting. So good.
So you only
You ate Jasper Carrington
Yeah, Jasper.
of Carrington Incorporated.
Yeah, your goblin friend totally sawed his skull in half.
Do you have any weaknesses like salt or
I don't like being eaten. I guess I don't enjoy pain. That's a big one. You know what? I'll go in the jar. We'll work this out. The jar won't hold me forever, but it is kind of like a little staycation. So.
Okay, I think you should either eat them or we light it on fire.
Yeah,
Like I
was
carrying
going to
this thing around in a thin glass
I'm gonna close the
jar
jar.
in your pocket is a bad idea.
Can I try
Just putting
to?
it out there, I think it's a bad idea.
Can I try to throw a bunch of salt in the jar so it's not a vacation? It's actually like not a good time.
It's not a leech. Like,
It's slug light.
You're just turning sludge into a soup.
salty sludge. Oh, it's gonna get real salty in there now.
I imagine because like it's all a bunch of crystals, like it's just very uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Cliff kind
like
of leans forward. It's like, Jasper Carrington was a very large man. If this thing was able to eat him,
you guys,
I worry
have a plan. Trust
for
me.
your safety.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just like slam the like jar into my bag. I'm like, I have a plan. I don't want to eat him like this because ew.
Oh, we're going to.
If I can, you heard nothing. Hush it. If
We get some potatoes.
yeah, maybe like
Bay
I can get
leaves.
something. I don't want to eat him while he's alive, and maybe if I can just suffocate him or do something, like double boil him, like put some boiling water, we can make it work.
Yeah,
Right
we'll
now,
just take the jar and we'll do it like how you do like pickles, where you take the jar and you stick it into the water, you just boil it.
Oh.
Exactly.
You know
we
what?
not just throw the jar into a river?
No, because
I
then
don't
No, they
trust him.
gotta
We know
eat
how
it.
Come
powerful
back.
he is. Yeah, we know
Yeah.
how powerful they are. What are the slimes thrown out?
It's like a lobster. We're just trying to cook it while it's still alive.
Basically, I'd rather not eat him, but the slime's not wrong.
I mean, we have some strange delicacies like this in Plumeria. It's not really unheard of, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I eat bugs all the time. Like,
And if
pick 'em
there's,
up,
I mean,
eat 'em.
ethically,
you don't need to like kill it. You just
ethically, the
Light it.
slime did give you permission.
They did, and so like I don't feel too bad about it. Like it,
What if we just like drill a little hole in the top? Then you just take a little straw, and then it's like
I don't want a slime smoothie. I'm just gonna make it into a soup.
Okay.
I'm not gonna make it into Jello either, honey.
I mean, problem solved, right? Like you just have to turn it into soup.
Are there magics that could possibly turn him into something else? Like maybe cheese or an actual soup?
Maybe
Oh, I left
just,
my cheese potion at home. I'm so sorry, Glenn.
I'll be okay when we get to Greenest or to a really good resting spot. I'll figure it out. I know I think I can remember a spell where like I can create food or something, and maybe I can do that with him. We need to get not here because there's kind of chaos everywhere.
You start
That's a really good restaurant.
you got in one of them fish people potions. We can like give it that, and then have like a fish fry.
Let's
You're-
find out. Oh,
You're
go
all
ahead, Lucas.
hearing now the sounds of the bushes and the trees starting to rattle, all coming from one direction.
Oh, we took too long, didn't we?
Back up. Let's go.
Oh, nope, it's a healing potion today, so no fish. And I put it away and I get moving.
Everyone roll me perception checks. Oh, am I disconnected again? Oh,
One
we're
thing
back.
after the other today.
Okay, there we go. I don't know what's going on. Weird. Everyone make me perception checks.
It'll be a 12.
I got a 15.
Got a 21.
I got a 16.
I got a 17.
My dice are coming back.
You all can see, like in the distance, it's dark. Some of you can see in the dark, which is nice. But you can see that it almost looks like a tree among the trees just keeps moving closer.
Is a giant carrying a tree?
Is it a? I don't know. Can I roll a history check real
Oh,
quick
we go.
to see if I've heard of these?
Yeah, go ahead.
Meanwhile, Kratok sort of like snaps his fingers to produce a flame using his prestidigitation and sort of like brings it close to the tree.
I got a 13 on that history check.
So while Kratok is holding this flame out, you're thinking really hard, and you realize you're pretty close to Greenest. And as the trees are starting to move, you then watch as this massive ent just steps out of the trees. They're probably around 17 feet tall or so. They're very big. And Alora, you look up as this ent looks down at you. Says,
Alora, that's where you were. It's so good to have you home.
as your uncle, Alder Bramble, is looking down at you.
TK has not been listening to any of this, and she's currently trying to rev up the chainsaw.
Uncle? 1 second. TK, no, put it down!
Kratok waves his hand and puts out the little flame.
It's so nice to see you. I've heard of you. Were you expecting me?
I've been hearing down the grapevines about you. You know what they say about the difference between a tree and a halfling?
Is it the height?
Halflings know when to shut up.
And the ent like scowls at all the trees as you watch, as all the trees are kind of shaking in the area.
The tree. Are they all like you?
Well, the trees all speak. They've been telling me you've been on your way. I came out to meet you.
Well, thank you. Would you mind escorting my friends and I to Greenest so we can like rest and stuff? And then I'd love to catch up with you.
Greenest. I don't know if you want to go to Greenest. Dark energies are gathering there. The woods speak of flames and teeth.
That's just TK. She's okay.
No.
No. Where have your parents been? I haven't seen them for, well, many, many years. You haven't been here since you were a sapling.
Well, they went off to work one day and then they never came back. I don't remember where they were supposed to go that day. I thought they were supposed to go to over to some far off place, but then I also heard that they only went like just outside of Cantra. So I don't know where they've been. I've kind of just been on my own since, well, I guess after we last saw each other, but I'm really sorry, Uncle. I don't really remember you very well.
That sounds like your father. I apologize. If I would have known, I would have come to see you.
Well, I mean, it's okay. I probably could have used help with, well, and I just kind of toss it and it floats. I am human, can't do that. Yeah, I tossed my succulent plant. I kind of discovered I could do this and other really cool like magic-y stuff. Like here, I have this like jar of dirt, and it heals people. It's healed my friends a bunch of times. I don't know how I do it though. I just kind of do, and I know that I change colors when I do that.
The ant leans down, and it comes quite close to all of you. You can see these these twigs and branches are sticking off of them. Some berries are growing off of a few of them. There's bird nests that have been made in their shoulders and on top of their head, as they're looking at this plant that's floating, and they're looking over you. Ah, you have a connection to the world tree. You can feel it, can't you? It's growing sick. Something's happening. We're all gathering. We're trying to figure out what's happening with the world tree.
Well, I don't really know anything about that. Maybe it's tied to this mask thing and a cult of chaos we're trying to stop. That's why we're trying to go to Greenest. It's not like we want to go to Greenest, but we're trying to because we have to stop some bad guys. And maybe that's it. We had to kind of hurt, and then I look over at Glyph. We had to kind of hurt Glyph because they accidentally put the mask on and got really bad very quickly. So we're trying to find the other masks because I think there's like 5, and maybe that's it. But I have felt my powers kind of fluctuate. I just didn't know why.
Do not wear the faces of dead things. You're better than that. If you insist on going to Greenest, then take this with you. And there's like this branch that reaches behind them and it pulls up, and this gnarled staff is brought up and then brought forward and dropped into their hand. And it seems quite small in their hand because they're so large. It's maybe the size of their finger. And as they bring it down near you, it's the size of your quarterstaff, but it looks very old. And the knotwork, it's like spiraling upwards. The bark is twisting. And this staff, you can feel the energy radiating off of it.
Thank you, Uncle. About what I am, I'll put the staff down. This guy, says I need to eat him in order to get stronger. Is there another way? I'd rather not. I don't like taking the life of another.
That'll make you ill. Do not put such things in you. Eat healthy and clean, and stay away from that drink. It'll drive you mad. You're different than the other ones. You have to ensure that you keep your body safe. You're connected to the world tree. If you're feeling what we are all feeling, then you should know that something very bad is about to begin. This staff should help you with your connection. It was something of your parents. They were supposed to come retrieve it, but they never did.
Oh. Well, I'm glad you held on to it. But I was told that I have to eat the other godlings to gain the power from them. But if I want to get any stronger with my magic, I don't want to eat him. He's rather obnoxious. What do I do?
Well, perhaps you can look into an alternative means. You are connected with the tree. Perhaps you can absorb them as a plant would, instead of consume them as one of the others around you.
Oh. Okay, I'll try and think of something. Thank you.
I will take you towards Greenest, but I will not leave past the forest. I cannot go near that place. I am needed elsewhere. I cannot fall today, but you all must be careful. A very powerful, dark being moves towards Greenest.
And the staff that you are given, Alora, is, I have it here, you're given a branch of the world tree. So this is a +1 quarterstaff. And so twice a day, you can cast from the following spell list. So it won't count towards your spells. It has Bark Skin, Speak with Plants, Speak with Animals, and Wall of Thorns. And so you can use 2 of those spells a day. And the staff itself is +1 to hit and +1 to damage. And counts as a magical weapon when trying to get through damage reductions. So, it's the middle of the night. Are you going to have Alder Bramble lead you through the night, or are you going to wait and sleep and then go?
I'm kind of the opinion that maybe we should like go up to the edge and try and scout the place out.
Mm-hmm.
And if it was TK's watch, we were almost done
Yeah.
That's
sleeping
true.
anyway.
It's probably like 4 a.m. or so.
So we could nap and he can watch us nap. Or we can just get up and go.
I have a reconnaissance idea. If you don't mind, Mr. Alder Bramble, What if I perched up in your branches and you sort of crept up to the city or the town?
I'm all right with this. And the rest of you would stay behind? Or what's the plan?
How close are we to Greenest?
It's a few hours until we reach the edge of the woods. And then maybe half an hour's time or less than that to Greenest itself.
Well, based on what's been chasing us, it probably is within the interest of the cleansers to know that something's going down. So I take out my Trevatha walkie-talkie, and there's a 5-minute cutscene while I do the Final Fantasy summon to see if Trevatha can answer, and maybe I can get a cleanser to help us on our attack on Greenest.
So you turn on this walkie-talkie and you're speaking. You're trying to get through to Trevatha, and it takes a minute or two, and you hear,
Oh, Weary?
Yeah, hey, it's been probably the worst week. Yeah, we're getting really close to Greenest, which is, I think, where it's all going to go down.
Oh,
Yeah, if you could send any cleansers our way, it's probably going to get dicey. We have people on our tail that are also heading towards Greenest. We have people that are waiting for us at Greenest. All of them basically bad news.
I can talk to the Order. Do you know what will be there?
Definitely
creatures?
Cult of Chaos, and probably some. They had an airship. Yeah, like some and a big megaphone, and they kept talking about like stocks and like profit sharing, and they had a callous disregard for human life, so they're going to be there.
Folk, yeah.
There's a person who can crush me with one hand who has a silly voice. They're going to be there.
Oh. Alright. I will speak to the Order, and we'll try to have people go to Greenest. Thank you for telling me this.
Yeah, no, it's probably going to get very dicey very soon. So I figured your people would want to know.
Be safe, Weary.
Oh, thank you, Trevatha. I'll try my best.
so you have alerted the cleansers. So Kurtok, your what you want to do you want everyone to follow along and then you go a little bit ahead and scout it out while they're still a little bit back? Was the plan?
Yeah, I think so, just to kind of get the lay of the land and let everyone know what we're walking into.
Sure. So Kurtok goes off ahead for a little bit, and then you all start to follow. And you're going through the woods at night for a couple hours, and the sun is slowly starting to rise. Animals are waking up. Birds are being very loud and annoying. You're going through these woods, and you see like the marks of where Alder Bramble had walked. Meanwhile, Kurtok, you and Duke Ducky of the Duchy of Quack are up on top of this tree. The cat, its head is up as the wind is just blowing by it. And you're looking forward. And you see all manner of destruction as you're going along. You can see that there is like destroyed caravans. You see cabins that have been demolished. You see there are there's bodies. There's all sorts of wreckage as you're coming up to the main trail towards Greenest. And as you glance out, you're up ahead of everyone. You see a massive force. You watch as hordes of these Dorvins are rushing forward. There are a few hundred at least. You see that there are these blackwing creatures sailing through the skies, doing these strange chattering calls to one another as they're diving up and down, and there's just swarms of them. You see that there is a few wagons that are being pulled behind. There's a number of humans too that are just in gray robes that are marching along, and they are all marching towards Greenest. That's what we're gonna call it. Did you all have fun today?
Oh boy.
Yes. Good times.
It was a bit of a more relaxing session today, aside from an ooze trying to eat you. At least for me, I didn't have to do a whole lot. You all talked for like 40 minutes. It was sweet. I just kind of like sat back, had some iced tea. Like I was like, oh, this is good.
You gave us somebody who is cool with being eaten. That invites like ethical discussion, you know?
That's fair. It's a gross discussion. Like,
yeah,
it's one that no one would
Super
ever really
gross.
want to have.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he's like that one Dark Souls boss. He's like gooey. I don't like him. He ruined my clothes.
That's fair. So much has happened, and we're on the doorstep of Greenest. I was really hoping we would get there today, and we did. I'm so excited for all of you to hop into chapter 1 of Rise of Tiamat. Though, to be fair, we've done like 5 other chapters. We've been crushing stuff left, right, and center. It's been great.
Yeah.
This has been a lot of fun going through this.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all for coming by and enjoying this wonderful tale of traveling and oozes and ents and oh my, so much to explore. We'll just go around the table. If there's anything that you want to promote, if there's anywhere we can find you, social media, all that good stuff, let some people know where they can find you. I have been your DM for this evening. I man the Ballad of the 7 Dice Twitter, Ballad 7 Dice. We have that contest going, so hop on social media. All you have to do is comment on the post or add us on Twitter and just tell us about your favorite NPC, and you're automatically entered in to win a leather dice bag and some tickets, or you can win a set of dice and a ticket. So hop on there, check it out. We have it on all the social medias. So tell us about your favorite NPC and you're in. We also have a Patreon if you want to hear more ballad goodies. We have audio drama stuff there. I am going to be releasing the first part of our new part of the audio drama that follows Ak over in Transmedia, looking into cultist operations there. So lots of weird stuff, robots talking about sentience and organic beings. Good times. The thing I'm going to recommend today is an audio drama called Malevolent. This audio drama is like 1920s, 1930s Call of Cthulhu audio drama where a detective suddenly wakes up and they don't have use of their eyes. Instead, there's some sort of demon or something in their head that they chat with that sees through their eyes, and they have to work together to figure out what the hell's going on and why they're both stuck in one body. Really fun, super creepy, amazing audio work that's done on it. So check that out. It's called Malevolent. You can find it all over on the lovely podcatcher apps. Ian.
All right. Hi, everybody. You can find me on Twitter at Ian_Caliente, where I have less than positive things to say about landlords because landlords suck. But beyond that, I also do want to hype up some projects, mainly like the stuff that I have been hyping up for the last couple weeks, because we're up to... Coming in August 1st is episode 5 of Road to WrestleMania. That is through the Are We Dead Yet podcast. I DM that game. It is a blast. We do a lot of fun, like magic wrestling. There was recently like this crazy like event that went down, and everyone's fighting to be the top of the pyramid, win that belt, lord it over everybody else. And there's a group of adventurers that are doing an okay job at that, while also getting cool merchandise. And I guess as like a minor note, I have started dabbling in my own podcast related projects. No clear release date yet, but we have started recording. It is going to be themed around the Powered by the Apocalypse game Demigods, which is basically Percy Jackson vibes. So we have the players, we're recording. Look out for that on a podcaster of choice once that becomes more concrete, but we are recording and I'm very excited. And we might have guests. So you might see Lucas or other people from the Rise gang show up in our audio form as a character, however that may play out. So yeah, that's my stuff for today.
Hell yeah. My goal is to guest on every podcast, so I'm totally down. Meg.
Hey, you can find me on Twitter at Narnia's Pants, where I currently am screaming about having to get everything ready for school starting back on the 9th. As usual, support your teachers, not just me, but find random teachers. We've all got PayPals and Ko-fis and everything up on Twitter. We always need the money. But I'm going to be selfish. Pay me. I do have a link tree on my Twitter bio, and it's got all kinds of stuff there and different ways you can support me. I'm trying to get back into the TRPG scene, but teaching at an elementary school, it requires me to stay at school until 5 o'clock most days, makes it very difficult. So Rise is kind of my home for the time being. And words are hard. Death to Divinity. Go watch their stuff. It is amazing. Katie is their DM, and I believe her pronouns are she, her. I need to double check that on Twitter. The whole cast is amazing. It is all fat, all queer characters and players. And it's very like magical school. It's a homebrew D&D campaign, and it's hilarious already and a bunch of chaos. So go watch them on Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern. They will make you laugh. They will probably make you cry from laughing. You will not be disappointed.
I muted myself. Awesome. Jess.
Hi there. I'm Jess. I'm going to promote my boy. No. He was yelling, so I let him in. This is my son, Wander. He's naughty. Anyway, I don't have a Twitter. I have an art Instagram. It's art_fantastical. It's at this point, it's just Rise memes and character art. So if you like our show and our characters, come on by and see them. I got a lot of unfinished stuff in the pipeline that I'm trying to finish, but I'm like the slowest artist ever. But it'll eventually go up on my Instagram. And once again, I would like to promote my friend wrote a book. Yay! It's called Master of One. And I'm just here to yell about it because it's really good. It's like Indiana Jones adventure with thieves, and they've got to get all the stuff. And there's like queer romance and disabled representation. And it's really good. So if you're into like YA, high fantasy, adventure, give that a look. It's called Master of One by Jada Jones and Danny Bennett. And buy it.
Awesome. Eve.
Hello, you can find me over at Copper Harpy on Twitter. That is Copper as in the metal, Harpy as in the bird monster. Today I'm going to recommend Gay Space Communism, which is a podcast about Star Trek that is surprisingly friendly towards people like me who know virtually nothing about Star Trek. It's a lot of fun. It's got all from critical bits in it. Good time.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's about all I got.
And Jason.
All right. Well, I'm Jason_42 here and on Twitter. And today I'm going to talk about something that's happening next week on Monday. I don't even know if Lucas mentioned it this time. I feel like you should have.
I did at the very beginning.
Oh, yeah, maybe you did.
But you can mention it
Lost
again.
Tower of Ambrosia. It's going to be some great players joining us on the stream. I'm going to be watching. And I'm also doing a Lost Tower of Ambrosia challenge. So I mentioned this a couple of weeks back, just kind of compiling all the content, all the podcasts that belong to people who guest on the show. I don't know if I'm allowed to post a link, but I'm going to try and link it in the Twitch chat right now. There it is, if you want to check it out. And I know Ben's in this chat somewhere. He's going to be there. It's going to be good. And thanks for coming out, everyone.
Thank you all for coming out. Please pop by Monday. It'll be a lot.